what's going on, everybody? It's me, JCreams14 here, and today I have something for you that I haven't really done before on this channel. I have my favorite Pokemon of every single type video coming out here. Sorry, that's my Snapchat. But anyways, I saw this trend on Twitter, and a bunch of my friends were doing it, and I told them that I would not succumb to the Twitter pressure. So I decided to do it on YouTube instead. But anyways, how this list is going to happen is I'm going to do it in two parts. The first part will go up through Ghost, and then after that it will be Grass through Water. We'll be doing them in alphabetical order, and this is by no means my top 10 favorites or in order. It's just my favorites of each type. So anyways, starting off with the bug type, as it does come first in alphabetical order, it's none other than Burmy! Because Burmy is the greatest! It is a god! If you haven't seen my video on Burmy, you gotta check it out. I explain all the reasons why Burmy is the best bug type in Pokemon in the whole world! But anyways, so yeah, that's gonna be my bug type, Burmy. Very cute, you know, especially like little naked Burmy, you know, without its leaves. Very cute Pokemon, and I'm a big fan of Burmy, big endorser of the Burmy brand. But anyway, so yeah, that's going to be my favorite bug type. Moving on to dark type is none other than Umbreon, the pure dark type of Gen 2. I love this evolution, as Umbreon is just such a good wall in the competitive game. I have a video here, a little clip that you'll be seeing right now. This is my Umbreon that actually took out it was a 1v3, and it was able to take down a Latios Nidoking, and I think it was like Camerupt or something, or whatever. I don't know if you can hear the dogs in the background, but they're playing around. Anyway, so yeah, that's my favorite dark type Umbreon. Just love it. Love its shiny form. It's my best friend's favorite Pokemon. I just love it for its competitive use and overall bulk. Anyways, we're going to be moving on to the dragon type now, and it's got to be none other than the cutest dragon type in the world, Gible. This little fat little land shark looking thing is just super cute in the anime. Its relationship between Gible and Ash in the anime really made me like want to have a Gible, just because it looks so funny and just to like be around. It has such a good personality and everything. But anyways, I just really like Gible. I know that whenever I would play Diamond and Pearl, I'd always go to that little cave underneath like the cycling road, just to go find a Gible, because that was my main goal, is to just have a little Gible on my team. But anyways, so that's going to be Gible for us. Moving on to electric is none other than the legendary Gen 1 bird, Zapdos. This thing has just been a part of my childhood. I had Zapdos bookmarks at my like, what was it, like my 8-year-old birthday party or whatever. I just love this Pokemon. I loved it so much as the card of Zapdos. I was a collector of those, and when I saw that Zapdos had like 100 base power on one of its moves, I thought that it was like the most powerful Pokemon in the whole world. But anyway, so yeah, I really love Zapdos. Best bird out of the trio, in my opinion. It's also great competitively. Again, a really good wall or bulky attacker. Anyways, so yeah, that's going to be Zapdos. Just love the card, love the concept, and kind of made the Pokemon The Power of One movie, the Lugia movie, my favorite Pokemon movie there is. But anyways, moving on to the fairy type, we have Gen 2 again with Granbull. Now, Granbull, once it became fairy typing, I actually fell in love with it a lot more. As a normal type, it just kind of, you know, wasn't like one of my favorites or anything. It was just kind of there. But once it got that fairy type, it actually became semi-competitive, actually, and was actually quite sought after in leagues as a late round fairy. With Intimidate, it can be a great defensive wall. It gets a great move set with moves like Thunder Wave, Heal Bell, powerful Play Rough, powerful Earthquake. You know, it can really be a good counter to some high attacking mons. So really, I really started liking Granbull for its competitive use, and I don't know, I'm not too keen on fairies. It's not like one of my favorite types or whatever. I was kind of against it when they introduced it to the game. But anyways, that's going to be my favorite fairy type is Granbull. Moving on to the fighting type, we're going back to Gen 1 with Primeape. Now this thing this pig monkey, I've always loved Primeape, especially in Pokemon Ranger games where whenever a Primeape saw you, it would just start charging at you with its thrash move or whatever. But I just thought that was hilarious. The first Pokemon, I own a Pokemon VCR tape where it's the punchy Pokemon with the Hitmonchan, and Ash's Primeape is really showcased in that one. And I'll never forget the moment where Primeape picked up Hitmonlee and slammed it to the ground, winning the Grand Prix. And it was just a very emotional moment for Ash and Primeape, and it was just amazing. One of my favorite episodes of the anime. But anyways, I was so mad at Ash for giving Primeape up. Also, spoiler alert. But anyways, I just really love this Pokemon. I've used it in playthroughs. I thought that it was kind of mediocre until I caught a Mankey in a Leaf Green, and I just fell in love with it as I continued through that journey with Primeape. It really became a great Pokemon and a staple on my team at that point. So anyways, that's going to be my fighting type in Primeape. Moving on, we got Fire. You'll notice a little bit of a trend. I really grew up with Gen 1 Pokemon, and so they're going to kind of be a little bit higher on my list in terms of favorites per types. I just really, really am a big fan of Gen 1 Pokemon. So Fire type is got to be Magmar. This thing is one fiery Pokemon. As you can see on its belly, on its head, it's got the little flames everywhere. And I remember in Leaf Green, Fire Red, I could not wait to get to First Island, as that's where the Magmars were. They were on Mount Ember, and I knew exactly where it was. I knew exactly the patch of grass that I needed to go catch it in, and I just spend a ton of time catching Magmars just because I love the Pokemon so much. With its evolved form, Magmortar, I am a fan of Magmortar, but I gotta go with Magmar. As it is the original before Magby and everything like that. I love the Magmar card as a kid as well. I just thought that it had a really cool design. And I also own a Magmar toy, a little plastic Magmar toy that I grew up playing with, and I really, really love it. So anyways, that's kind of why Magmar is my favorite, is mostly just for nostalgia reasons, along with design and everything like that. I never really used the Magmar competitively or anything, but anyways, for those reasons, Magmar is my favorite fire type. Better than Charizard. Moving on to our flying type. Here we have none other than, well, I mentioned before, Pokemon The Power of One was my favorite movie, and a big part of that was because Lugia was the big star of that movie. It is just such a cleanly designed Pokemon, and the story behind Lugia is just so well put together. It's just this beast roaming around the bottom of the sea, causing whirlpools, and is just an ultimate powerhouse of Pokemon. With the multi-scale ability and its sky-high defenses, it's great in Ubers. Really, really fun to toxic stall people with Roost. You see him rage. It's quite funny sometimes. But of course, I don't always run that. I'm not really a Stally type player. But anyways, so yeah, Lugia comes in with my favorite flying type. There was actually quite a lot of Pokemon that have the flying type, that like as a secondary type or something. So anyways, Lugia, just love it. I like it more than Ho-Oh because it kind of embodies water a little bit more, and I'm a much more in tune with water. It's my favorite element and favorite type. But yeah, so anyways, that's going to be my flying type in Lugia. And moving on to our last type of this video, we have the Ghost type. And coming out of Gen 1, coming past Gen 4, or to where I was, we got the Gen 6 Pokemon Trevenant. Now, this is my favorite Gen 6 Pokemon, as when I saw the design of Trevenant in Pokemon X playthrough, I really, really liked it. I thought that it was such a clean-looking Pokemon. I felt like the Game Freak company really took their time designing it and coming up with a cool backstory for it. I know that its pre-evolved form, Phantump, was it's kind of creepy, the entry, which is kind of why I like it as well. Is it's like the spirits of lost kids from the forest, and kind of we're merged into a Pokemon, which then evolves into this bigger Pokemon that's just a ghost in a tree. And I always love that because it embodies all those all those like creepy kind of forest stories, like the Talking Willow and Pocahontas and the Hobbit movies where the forest is kind of like alive and everything. I just really love how Pokemon embodied that into a ghost type Pokemon in Trevenant. When I started my competitive battling, when I just first started, I used a Trevenant with Harvest Citrus Berry, and it got me out of so many predicaments with Shadow Claw, Horn Leech, Leech Seed, and Will-O-Wisp was my set. I loved it. Completely loved it when Gen 6 first came out. But anyways, that's gonna do it for the first few types of this video. Let's see, I believe that's 6 types right there. We got 9 types right there. We got another 9 types to go through in the next video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for listening, and toodaloo.